Oh, her teeth. Oh my gosh.
When the whale approaches to you and you see the size of the animals, the head and the eye, looking at you, why these big animals comes here, you know? And why they are not afraid of us. It's amazing. This lagoon, it's important for the gray whales because they can rest from that long migration and stay safe inside of the lagoons. We live in tents for 3 months, monitoring the gray whale population here in Laguna San Ignacio. We have noticed that many whales, when they arrive, they are in bad condition. When I joined to this project in 2008, there were only a few skinny whales. For the last 2 years, we have had more than 20% of skinny whales.
They really can't feed here. That's why they go all the way to Alaska, where there's a lot more food. So it's a long way back, and once you see them that skinny, you're like, oof, it's gonna be tough for them to really come back, and you know that some of them maybe end up stranding. Extinction has always been there. It doesn't mean they're going extinct at the moment, but the problem is the speed that it's going, it's directly involved to humans. It's really a collaboration between different countries, labs, scientists working year-round to trying to figure out what's going on.
In the US and Canadian waters, there are a lot of teams working with the gray whales, but almost all the information from the gray whales in Mexico comes from us. We try to assess how many whales with poor conditions can we see in a season to see if it's getting better or this problem is continuing for more years.
We did have a dead gray whale wash up in this little cove here at one point. It was kind of really hard to get at. We're used to seeing them transiting through the area, but not staying inside the bay. It's really, really striking. So it's been nearly a year since they were in the feeding grounds. They've been fasting largely all that time through the breeding season. They're getting hungry and they're seeking shelter, really a place to rest and perhaps get a snack. Really, this is like a crime scene investigation. So we want to be really careful not to state emphatically the cause of what's going on. But we do know the causes of death include malnutrition, but also ship strike. We think of whales as being really big, right? Oh, they're huge, they're the biggest animals on Earth. But we have container ships that are 1,000 feet long. And so if you look at like a gray whale next to these large vessels, the size difference would be like if you lay down on the runway in front of a 747. A boat like that, they could hit a whale and not even feel it.
When a whale is emaciated or skinny and not as healthy as it should be, it is more prone and more susceptible to other issues like getting entangled.
All right, he's scoping us out. Oh, yeah. Justin, I'm moving up. I'm moving quick. All right.
Primarily along the California coast, we see a lot of entanglements in fishing gear.
Good.
We will either grab a hold of the entanglement coming off of the whale directly, or we may need to use special tools to reach the entanglement that's on the whale.
Okay, now you can let that go. Just give it a bend.
In this co-occurrence where we have more happening in the ocean and more whales in the same space, their risk of entanglement is increased.
Yes, glorious.
When we get a live whale report in the bay, my only thought is, please don't die. A necropsy is an examination of a carcass to determine what the cause of death was. It's a tragedy that they have to die in order for them to be available to science, but each one is really a unique opportunity to research.
We'll get started. Mo has an announcement for folks.
It was reported alive, and then when the team responded in the afternoon that day, it had died. I mean, this is a classic on how skinny this whale was.
Let me just verify that we've had no Oregon, Washington, or Alaska or Canada whales that I don't know about.
The Mercers who do that survey up in Mendocino, they're still seeing good migration north.
This guy's right in front of us. Oh. Gee, he's moving fast, 235.
I wouldn't say traveling together, like one in one. You could see them without binos.
Yeah, we're lucky today. So many visible without binoculars.
It is.
We don't know exactly how many dying because they don't all wash ashore. For everyone that washes up, there are 8 to 10 that we don't know about.
In 1999 to 2000, there was another unusual mortality event for the gray whales, and the population did recover very nicely. But, you know, everything about it, though, says that there's something deeper going on here.
When a population is showing signs of, you know, malnutrition and starvation, that's a real warning sign. These animals do feed in the Arctic, and we know that there are large ecological changes going on in the Arctic that appear to be related to global climate change. The summer sea ice in the Arctic is down dramatically. And there appears to be a link between the food these animals prefer and the ice. The way things appear to be going with the global climate, we should expect to see more and more significant changes in these animals. These animals are sort of sentinels of the sea, but they're also indicators of ocean health.
So the last one that came out was a skinny whale. So you can see a little depression over the head, so that's one of the indications that's a skinny whale.
Each time you look at something and look more closely, it brings up another question, and then you look at that question, then you have another question, and like science is all about answering those questions. 100 years from now, 200 years from now, someone can look back and hopefully use those samples to answer some questions.
There's a lot of studies that have been done about whales, but still so many things that we don't know and we don't understand completely. It's a roller coaster of emotions.
These animals, so much of their lives is a mystery. Our understanding today is not going to be the same as our understanding tomorrow. And that's the great voyage of discovery.